morning, everyone. This is Andy. Today's December 10th. Officially, technically, my wife and I's 5th wedding anniversary. So, yeah, I know. Thanks. We actually went Friday and celebrated a little bit because today's Monday, a work day. She's at work, and so Friday we took the day and we went to St. Louis, Missouri, and which is 3 hours north of us. And I hate St. Louis. St. Louis, I hate every inch of you. That's a Johnny Cash reference, by the way. I'm not a fan of traffic. Not the band, but traffic in general. And those 4, 5, 6 lane highways where everybody's going 90 miles an hour, bumper to bumper. A guy like me, it unnerves me a little bit. So, anyway, yeah, we went to St. Louis. Had some business to take care of, but after the business, we went out to eat at a very high dollar restaurant, and yeah, I paid $18 for a hamburger, so there you go. But I'll tell you this, it was the best damn hamburger I ever ate in my entire life, so how's that? So anyway, we were there, we weren't there very long, because like I said, it was a long drive there and a long drive back. So basically, we just did what we had to do. Went out to eat, and I hit up a place that I've never been before. And you're going to say, really? And I'm going to be like, yeah, because I live in the middle of the sticks where we don't have any major stores. But I stopped off at Half Price Books in Chesterfield, Missouri, which is like a suburb, I guess, of St. Louis. No meetup with Billy Hurst, but I've got to go back in a month, so hopefully, Billy, we can meet up and maybe hit a record store or 6 and have a beer, or 12. But anyway, yeah, Sunny, love of my life, my wife, I love you, and happy anniversary, dear. So I went to Half Price. I know, I'm just rambling. Went to Half Price Books, and I picked up some vinyl, some CDs, and some books, and I would like to share those with you, if you're still watching. So without any further ado, so I'm going to start with the CDs. You want CDs? I'll show them to you. The store's called Half Price Books, but I don't know. I don't feel like I paid half price for anything. I feel like I paid a little more than that, but that's okay, because they found some things that I typically can't find anywhere around here, so I was willing to pay extra couple of bucks for some of these. This is one of those. I've got this on cassette tape, and believe it or not, I never upgraded to a CD, and the vinyl is too outrageous to even attempt. But this is probably my second favorite Soundgarden album. This is Bad Motor Finger, and my first is Super Unknown, because it's just so raw, and Cornell's vocals are so powerful on that. But this one, easily second. You got Rusty Cage, Outshined, Slaves and Bulldozers, Jesus Christ Pose, which is probably my favorite song off this one, Face Pollution, Sick Somewhere, Searching with My Good Eye Closed, and many, many more. But that's a real good one. Here's another one that I'll probably never own on vinyl because it costs too damn much. They re-released this at Record Store Day and broke it up into 3 individual albums, but still, I'm a cheap bastard, so I have a hard time paying a lot of money for vinyl. But I picked up this Tom Waits Orphans. It's Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards. It's a 3 CD set, and it's got a little booklet in there and a little info about. This is like a lot of outtakes and unreleased stuff, and like some stories and such. And it's Tom Waits, and I'm a completist as far as Waits goes, so I had to have this. Here's another one that I never really owned in any format other than cassette tape when it first came out. Upgraded to CD. The vinyl, again, another one of those that you'll probably never pick up for cheap. Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and the Infinite Sadness. It's lengthy. That's what she said. But this could have been 2 albums. I wish they would have broken up this into 2 albums. But instead, you get a whole lot of music. So that's 2 CD set with a couple little booklets in here. Smashing Pumpkins in their at their peak, I guess. Okay, the next one. Again, this is something that I own on cassette. I don't think this was ever released on vinyl. This is something that I would pick up on vinyl if the opportunity arose. This is, and I'm going to say this wrong because I always do. Rubaiyat. It's Elektra's 40th anniversary. It's a 2 CD set. The cassette was a 2 cassette set, and what it is, it's 39 songs of Elektra artists doing songs from other Elektra artists, and it's a really good cover song set, I would say. You've got The Cure singing The Doors' Hello, I Love You. You've got Tracy Chapman doing House of the Rising Sun. Billy Bragg, 7 and 7 Is. Gypsy Kings doing a very badass Spanish rendition of Hotel California. The Black Velvet Band doing Werewolves of London. The Sugar Cubes doing Motorcycle Mama. Bjork singing that song is just hilarious. And I'm skipping around because there's a lot of great tracks on here. One of my favorite tracks is the Pixies doing a cover of Paul Butterfield Blues Band's Born in Chicago. Love that one. Faster Pussycat doing a cover of Carly Simon's You're So Vain. And they nail it. They knock it out of the park with that one. I remember when that video came out on Headbangers Ball back in the day. Let's see. Lynch Mob doing Going Down. Down, 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 down. My wife's favorite track off this, we listened to this coming back from St. Louis, and a lot of these songs she didn't care for. But one she really dug was Howard Jones doing Road to Cairo, which is a really great track. The Big F doing Kick Out the Jams. Let's see. Linda Ronstadt singing The Blacksmith. That's a good one. Jackson Browne doing First Girl I Loved. That's a good song. 10,000 Maniacs, These Days. Metallica's version of Queen's Stone Cold Crazy. Danny Gatton, tremendous guitar player, doing Apricot Brandy. Wow. They Might Be Giants, One More Parade. DJ High Noon. There's a cover of Mount Airy Groove on here by Leaders of the New School. I know you're a hip hop guy, and Leaders of the New School, that's Busta Rhymes, ya ya ya, back in the day. And another song that I dig and no one else likes, a song that I will crank up and make people mad, is John Zorn doing a version of the song TVI, which is just tremendous. That is a monster of a song. If I could compile an album of songs that I think everyone needs to hear more than once, because when you hear it the first time, you're kind of like, what the hell is this? But yeah, John Zorn doing TVI, wow, wow. So there's that. Okay, next up I've got some vinyl. While digging through their vinyl, they didn't really have anything spectacular. Honestly, a lot of it was stuff you would find at flea markets and such, and a little bit overpriced. They did have new vinyl, but I wasn't willing to pay the prices they was asking for it. Not because, you know, if I can go online and order an album for $5 cheaper than I can pick it up at a store, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm a cheap bastard. But I didn't have a copy of this in any way, shape, or format. See what I did there? But it's an album I always wanted, but I never wanted to pay, you know. So Don McLean, American Pie. Was so glad to find this. And the vinyl is beautiful. It doesn't have a scratch on it. It doesn't even look like it's ever been played. You've got American Pie and my favorite song by this man, Vincent. Starry, Starry Night. Love that song. And the album is dedicated to Buddy Holly, in case you didn't know that. But really glad to have that. Just love that whole album. The next one I picked up because I've been on a Leslie West kick as of late, and I've got a few Mountain LPs, and I've been digging them out and just blast them. You know, Mountain was such a great band, and I picked this one up, Flowers of Evil, Mountain. And this has got some great songs on it. I believe the whole thing's a live album. At least side 2's live, I know, because I did listen to this the other night, but I was a tad bit intoxicated, so I don't exactly remember if both sides were live. But I know side 2 is live for a fact, and this is just a really good album. They close the album with a live version of Mississippi Queen, and you know, that's when you think of Mountain, that's like the first song that pops into your head. But really, they had a lot of great songs that you just never hear. And yeah, great band, great musicianship, those guys. And then this next album falls into the psychedelic vein. And when I first saw this, I was like, wow. And then when I saw the price, I was like, even better, because this was like under $5. And I see this one shown quite a bit on YouTube in the music communities and such, but I never owned a copy. I'm familiar with the album, but now I have one. Spirit, 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. And it's signed by T.S. So I don't know who T.S. is, but it's mine now, T.S. So should I scratch that out and put my initials on there? I don't know. But yeah, this is a phenomenal album. I've listened to this probably at least 3 times since Friday. I'll probably spin it again here when I'm done. I really dig this one. Next up is a big stack of books, not comic books, books about music, because, you know, I collect biographies about musicians and music and such. And actually, this was the first aisle that I walked down when I went into this store. And I saw all these books, and the prices were actually really cheap on these. And I looked at my wife and I said, I need a cart. So I went back, I got a cart, and I come back, and I probably spent more time than I should have in this aisle. And but I'm glad I did. The book that I'm currently reading I Am Brian Wilson. It's the Brian Wilson story. So far, I'm 2 chapters into this book, and it's written like Brian Wilson speaks, which is kind of all over the place. During the recording, during the writing of this book, he talks about him and his wife were fixing to go to the premiere of the movie Love and Mercy, which is the story about him. A movie that, according to him, was 20 years in the making. So, and I saw this movie when it first came out, and I'd forgotten a lot of it. So I put the book on pause, and I put the movie in, and I watched it just to refresh my memory, because I knew he was going to start talking about the movie. So watched that yesterday, got back on the book last night. It's a very interesting read so far. Okay, got some metal. This is Killers, The Origin of Iron Maiden, 1975 through 1983. So, by Neil Daniels. So, you've got everything from Paul Di'Anno up through Bruce Dickinson coming in this book. I've not read it yet. I have flipped through it. There's some photos from back in the day where they talk about, I don't know, Samson and other things. Formed in East London by bassist Steve Harris in 1975, Iron Maiden are one of the most popular heavy metal bands of all time. Of course they are. I'm a huge Maiden fan. My top 3 metal bands, my top 3 favorite metal bands are Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest. I'm sure I've said that before in past videos, but just to clarify, my top 3 favorite metal bands of all time, that's them. And looking forward to reading this. Next up is Peter Criss, Make Up to Break Up. Little biography about Peter Criss. Rolling Stone magazine says Kiss fans will love every word. I'm a Kiss fan. I used to be. Back in the day, I was hardcore Kiss. So, and this one's got a lot of photos in the middle. Peter and his family back in the day, and fans and such. And so I'm looking forward to reading that one as well. Next up, this thing that I'm going to show could probably be a video unto itself, because I could do an unboxing video on this thing maybe. This is Black Sabbath, The Vault. An exclusive box set containing an illustrated book, posters, and rare removable rock memorabilia. It's unofficial and unauthorized, so that makes it that much better. And there's a picture there of all the stuff that's in here. There's like ticket stubs and little handbills and posters. And I'm not going to go through and pull everything out, but you know, there's like little inserts. It's got posters tucked away in them. History of Black Sabbath. There's little slots throughout here that have ticket stubs stuck in them, and little envelopes that open up that's got handbills inside, and a little chart that tells you what each of these little handbills is that you're pulling out, where it was from, what year, and this goes through the entire lineage of Sabbath and all the other singers that they've had. Tony Martin, Ian Gillan, just a lot of interesting and cool stuff. And this is really cheap. The price tag on this thing is $35, and they had it for $9, so I couldn't pass that up. And then last but certainly not least, as far as I'm concerned, I got a big monster heavy ass book entitled Nashville's Grand Ole Opry. This thing is huge. And it's by Jack Hurst with an introduction by Roy Acuff. This book came out, I believe, in the early 80s. Because everything in here is before 1975. Okay, the copyright on this book is 1975. So everything in here is old school, classic, kick-ass country, not the crap that came later. And there's 463 photos in this book, and it's phenomenal. I sit down and flip through this thing, and there's photographs in here from the early days of the Opry. String being there. But anyone you'd want to know, there's June, Tammy and George, just Porter, just all kinds of great classic photos from way back in the day. So yeah, that's just an amazing book in my mind. So, because I love this stuff. But anyway, that's my little haul that I picked up. Hopefully there was something in there to your liking. I just wanted to make a video this morning and share my finds with you. Just want everybody to know that I thank you for watching, and glad you're alive and well, and praying for each and every one of you this holiday season. Not that I should only pray for you on the holidays, but I thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.